So boom, right? Remember that Bomberman Retrospective thing I was doing? Well, it's coming back, and while I'm probably already done with it by the time this video goes up, it just feels wrong to pull a cyber shell and just come back like nothing happened. Next game is Bomberman 93, and initially this was supposed to come much earlier. At first, it was supposed to come right after Bomberman 2. I even recorded a majority of the gameplay already. The last world was just really frustrating and added on to the frustration that my living situation at the time was already causing. So I decided to give myself a break and focus on the lost media video that was initially supposed to come after 93. I had a lot of fun making that, and 93 was supposed to come next, but the outside frustrations only got worse, and I really didn't want that energy to bleed into my content. This went hand in hand with me realizing that I couldn't keep making videos the same way I was before, or more specifically how I was recording them. Back then, I used to simply not script anything. It wasn't completely off the dome, more me structuring my thoughts on the subject in a way that sounded scripted, but I realized that if I really wanted to make content that I could be proud of and hopefully start making money off of, I needed to actually script things and edit a lot better. I used to procrastinate like a motherfucker back then though, so I decided to make a second lost media video in the same style since I had so much fun on the first one and it did so well. But a hurricane happened before I could record the last section, and I tried to do it after everything was back to as normal as shit could be back then, but it really hit me just how much I needed to change, so I just left that part out. The what if video was the first one I ever completely scripted, and it's very obvious, to me at least. Something I realized though as I was editing the second lost media video was just how bad HitFilm Express began to run on my computer. It never was full speed, but it was manageable beforehand, so I decided to wait until I saved up enough from my job to buy a better computer. However, even though the computer should have been able to run HitFilm basically flawlessly, it somehow ran worse. This was because of a new feature that you can't turn off where it renders the video as you're editing it. This sounds cool and all, but it caused my computer to crash constantly while using it, which would reset the render process or reset whatever progress I'd made that session. Sometimes it'd even crash when I'd save, or just freeze my whole computer. It took way too long for me to change software simply because HitFilm was all I knew. I wasn't sure if I'd even be able to find a free software that had as many features as it did or even worked the same. I felt trapped but had hope that I'd be able to figure it out, but it just got worse and worse. The breaking point was the video about Lego games. It gave me so much shit while editing a video that wasn't even that long compared to ones I'd made on a worse laptop, and was just adding more frustration to IRL shit that was getting worse and worse by the month that I almost quit making vids altogether. But I would have never got to return to the Bomberman Retrospective. I would have never got to make a lost media video, upload vids of me playing with friends, talk about more fan theories, or make more reviews. I was fed up with HitFilm, but I genuinely enjoy making videos, and that persistence led me to finally saying fuck it and finding a new video editing program. I tested them out by making simple edits and seeing how easy it was. Then when I found Kdenlive, I really liked it and made a type of video I haven't in a while, the AMV, to another Richie Branson song no less. I never uploaded that AMV, but making it really motivated me to keep making videos in general. I decided that no matter what, I was gonna put my all into making them, and I was gonna stop holding myself back and allowing other bullshit to hold me back. This was before I even learned about the much needed move, but it made me even more motivated to get back on track. The move took way longer than expected, but even while staying at one of my siblings' places in the meantime, I felt more at peace than I ever did in that house, and I finally felt ready to return to the Bomberman Retrospective. I'd seen comments of people asking about it before that point, and every time I did, it felt bittersweet. I loved that people actually cared about it, but I also felt like I couldn't make it as good as it should be. After getting to a better place mentally though, the feeling changed to motivation to bring it back. Anytime I even loaded up the games I hadn't gotten to yet, I'd start to really miss doing it. Bomberman Hero played a big part in that. It was one of the first in the franchise I played, part of my introduction to emulation, and was part of why I loved the N64. It really bothered me that I never allowed myself to talk about it and put my feelings about the game and the franchise as a whole out there. So the retrospective is back, and barring a straight inability to play a game, I don't plan on taking that long of a hiatus again. I'll be making other videos too, so here's to happier times and less frustrations. I'll see you niggas next time.